Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. So it has been 2 weeks, okay? 2 weeks since your girl has seen you, so I really hope you're good. I basically just left social media like literally for like 2.5, almost 3 weeks because guys, I've been going through it. I cannot lie, I've been going through it. But I figured today I was going to, you know, sprinkle some encouragement for you because I have really been encouraged in the past couple of days. I was really encouraged on Sunday and I just figured like, I feel like my fire has been ignited again, and one way that I kind of like keep that fire going is by sharing what I have learnt and what has uplifted me with you guys. I figured, you know, that's what we're gonna do today. So get cozy, comfortable. I would say Hot Ribena, but I actually gave up Hot Ribena for Lent. I know it's been so hard, guys, literally pray for me. But yeah, get cozy, comfortable, maybe a hot tea, cheeky coffee, you never know, just a hot drink here and there. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So before we do get into today's video, I figured it would make sense for me to kind of give you a little history, a little source, a little gist, you know, as to why today's video is going to be today's video, if that makes sense. I do not believe for 1 second that I'm the only person who's going through this right now. So I do believe there will at least be one person, okay, even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know, but at least one person who's going through this exact same thing as me right now. And I figured, yeah, I just figured I was just going to share it, like, you know, why not? Sharing is caring, why not? So as many of you guys do know, I'm currently in my final year of university. You know what, scrap that, I'm in my final few weeks of university. I literally finished uni in like 5 weeks. And let's just say, people didn't lie when they said final year is not a joke. Like, it is so intense, it is so insane. Literally, I blinked and my dissertation deadline is coming up. Like, it's literally been that insane. Dissertation, final year project, less sleep, more eye bags, less hot food, more sandwiches, less hot drinks, and everyone knows I live for my hot drinks. I haven't been able to like proper and relax for a while now, so it's literally been like so stressful. And the cherry on top of the cake, which really, it literally made me cry, guys. Like, I was literally crying. The cherry on top of the cake for me was the fact that many of you guys may know that a lot of UK lecturers are actually going to be striking for the next 3 weeks. So everyone on my course was just trying to understand, we finish uni in 5 weeks, as in our deadline is in 5 weeks. You're going to be on strike for 3 out of those 5 weeks. By the time you're back for 2 weeks, you're probably going to be overwhelmed with the amount of students that are going to be coming to you, meaning we're not going to get sufficient feedback for our, I don't know why I said it like that, but we're not going to get sufficient feedback for our final year project, the project that basically holds all the weight as to what we're going to be graduating with. I just don't get it. I really don't. I genuinely don't feel like I'm going to meet this deadline. I don't think I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to have help from my teachers. Like, it's literally just going to be so stressful, like literally. At the same time, I've obviously been applying to, you know, grad schemes and apprenticeships and internships and stuff like that. And I'm either not passing the 2nd stage interview or I'm hearing back, unfortunately, we can't take you on and blah, blah, blah. And it's been such an overwhelming 2 weeks. Like, and that's the thing that I hate the most. That it's been such a short space of time that I've been so discouraged. And it's almost like, you know, you set all these goals and plans for yourself and things that what you want achieved and the job that you want and this and that, and then one by one they're literally just like being crushed right in front of you. Like, it is very, very, very discouraging. So I basically believe that whenever you really don't want to do something, and I mean you really do not want to do that one thing, that should be the #1 thing that should propel you forward to make sure that that thing gets done, okay? Now, I really did not want to go to church on Sunday. Like, literally, I went to bed on Saturday evening with the mindset that I'm not going to church. So I woke up on Sunday, I rubbed my eyes, yawning as you do. I don't yawn like that, by the way, but yawning as you do. And I basically went to the shower, and then after the shower, I was just like, you know what? The fact that you do not want to go to church, Tolu, you are going to church. You are going to church today. And I do have to thank God that I did go to church, because coincidentally as well, and I'm not even going to say coincidentally because I do honestly believe that that message was for me, but the title of Pastor's message was about encouraging yourself in God. So obviously Pastor said the title of his message and I was like, you say what now? So Pastor basically spoke about in the Bible when David was literally so discouraged, okay, because both of his wives had been captured, but he was so discouraged that all he could do was just cry. I diverge quickly, but the Bible is actually such a big book. Like, honestly, when people say read your Bible, they're not joking, because there are so many hidden scriptures that we know nothing about that can literally apply to our lives, like literally. So I'm going to read you the scripture because I was going to do that anyway, okay, because that's all I do.
Oh, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's how I am.
So David and his men wept aloud until they had no strength left to weep. David's 2 wives had been captured, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. David was greatly distressed because the men were talking of stoning him. Each one was bitter in spirit because of his sons and daughters, but David found strength in the Lord his God. Many times on this journey of life, not even journey, this roller coaster of life, okay? Many times on this roller coaster of life, we need encouragement, or we seek encouragement from other people. Whether that be our friends, whether that be our partners, whether that be our family members, whether it be our mentors, whether it be our lecturers, okay? We seek encouragement, and at the end of the day, all of those people are mere human beings, and they can always fail us. I can ask for encouragement on Monday and you can give it to me on Friday, but I needed it on Monday, so you failed in encouraging me. Do you know what I mean? One thing I really love about that scripture was speaking about how David learned to encourage himself in God when he was literally at that breaking point of his life. He learned to encourage himself in Christ, not on his own strength, because at the end of the day, our own strength is not sufficient enough to give us the constant encouragement that we need, but on the strength of God, because we know that once we receive that encouragement from God, it's kind of like we're a cup and he just constantly continues to fill us up. It is not the environment that you are placed in that will determine your value. The only three things that will determine your value in any given environment is your mindset, your thoughts, and also your actions. And this was something that really resonated with me, especially with the whole university thing that was going on, because my whole environment is telling me that teachers aren't going to be available and final year is going to be really hard and you're going to have to do all the work by yourself, and you may not get the best possible grade because you won't have one-to-one supervision with your supervisor and stuff. And with all of my environments are telling me all of these things, I now have to make this firm decision to literally understand that the promises that God has towards me, this is what I mean by encouraging yourself in God. If I can remind myself that the promises that God has towards me is plans of good and not of evil, then regardless of whatever environment that I'm in, I understand that my value is not placed in that environment, but placed in the thoughts that I have towards myself and placed in the promises that God has towards me. Sometimes we need to learn to encourage ourselves in God, because until God says I'm not, I am. And we need to spend less time focusing on what they said, and they said this, and reports say this, and reports say that. But what did God say about me? What did God say about the value placed in my life? The promises that God has towards me, that whatever he will start in me, he will surely finish. And also understanding how important it is for us to read up on God's word, because the only way I'll be able to recite and openly proclaim the promises God has towards me is if I actually know those promises myself. And we don't always have our phone with us, we don't always have our Bible with us, we can't always go on Google, although Google is very helpful, but we can't always go on Google, you know. And sometimes it only makes sense for us to be able to combat those negative thoughts that we have towards ourselves if we know it up in here. So understanding that even when I feel all of these things, I need to be more conscious of what God says about me by reading his word, because the more conscious I am of what the word says about me is the less conscious I'll become of what the world says about me. And lastly, remembering that whatever God has started with each and every one of us, including university, okay, but whatever he has started, he will surely finish. And keeping Philippians 1:6 in mind, which says, being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work with me will see it until the day of completion, until Jesus Christ. And I thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you were blessed, you were encouraged, you were inspired. Learn to encourage yourself in the Lord, okay, because he doesn't disappoint. I'm still learning to do that too, because I know he doesn't disappoint, okay? But we've got this, honestly, like we've got this once we learn to encourage ourselves in God and not in mere men and mere people that constantly follow us every single day, okay? But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you were blessed, you were encouraged, you were inspired. Please do take care, stay blessed, and yep, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.